Once upon a time in the kingdom of Austria, there lived a king named Alaric. King Alaric was known far and wide for his wisdom, generosity, and fairness. But behind the wise king, there was a struggle known only to him and his household. King Austria had married a beautiful maiden by the name Queen Athia when he came to power. But 2 years down their marriage, Queen Athia was unable to conceive. When the queen noticed the sadness and desperation in the king's eye, he requested him to get a younger wife who would bear him an heir. And the king went on and married Queen Beatrice in a lavish palace wedding. 2 more years went down and Queen Beatrice did not conceive. The king became more troubled. He sought advice from his council of advisors, but all they told him was to marry another wife. King Alaric went on and married Queen Celeste, and the same pattern repeated itself. Queen Celeste did not conceive despite all the care and the taking of the right diet. The 3 queens approached their husband the king and advised him to marry another wife. The king went on and married Queen Delilah, and altogether the 4 queens were unable to give the king the one thing he deserved the most, an heir to his throne. In a last-ditch effort, the king decided to consult the chief priest of his kingdom, hoping that he could offer some insight into his barren predicament. The chief priest listened to the king's words and then spoke softly, saying,
"There's a reason why none of your wives have borne you a child, your majesty. Many years ago, you impregnated a palace maid and then cast her out of the kingdom, never to be seen again."
Shocked, King Alaric realized the priest was speaking of a long-forgotten incident from his youth. He remembered the maid, a beautiful girl named Ilara, who had come to him in secret and revealed that she was carrying his child. Fearing scandal and dishonor, he had paid her off and banished her from his kingdom.
"The maid you rejected, your majesty, vowed that you would never have a child, no matter how many wives you took. The only way to break the curse is to seek out the palace maid and make amends with her and meet your son, the heir to your throne."
Determined to break the curse and secure his legacy, King Alaric set out on a quest together with his favorite palace guard to find Ilara and the child he had rejected. After several weeks of searching, King Alaric found Ilara living in a small village on the outskirts of the kingdom. Initially, Ilara was reluctant to speak with him, but after hearing his heartfelt apology and repentance, she welcomed him warmly, but there was sadness in his eyes as she introduced him to their son, a young, handsome young man named Darian. Overwhelmed with emotions, King Alaric embraced his son and begged for forgiveness for his past actions. Darian, now a skilled warrior and a kind-hearted young man, forgave his father and agreed to come back to the palace with him. They all returned to Austria, and the curse that had plagued the king was finally broken. Darian was welcomed into the royal family with open arms, and King Alaric did what he had ought to have done so many years ago. He married Ilara, and altogether the king had 5 wives. And so King Alaric could finally rest easy, knowing that his legacy would live on through his son, the end. If you have enjoyed this story this far, please do not leave without giving it a like, subscribe and share, and please consider leaving a comment on the comment section telling me whether you enjoyed the story and telling me whatever city or country you're watching me from for me to give you a shout out on the next episode of Wonder Tales by Julian.